What that means is that God is a good God, that God does not know how to do bad. But even though you go through different things, God can use every single situation in your life to make it good. That was the statement that Mom was trying to teach me. Hey family, it is a joy to connect with you again. And if this is your first time, we have been going through this book that I have written, Engineered to Make a Difference. You are designed for success and lasting significance. The purpose of this book is to remind you that you are not a mistake. You are not a happenstance. You are not a biological error. You have been designed for a specific purpose. You've been engineered to make a difference. There is something that you can offer to the world. You are important to us. And if you have not gotten the book yet, it is available on Amazon. There is also an audio book for people that are busy like me. You can access it for free and you can play it as you are doing your daily routine, as you are going to work, and you can definitely catch up. We are on chapter 5, and chapter 5 has a quick question for you and I. The question is, does God show favoritism in his design? If you are honest with yourself, you always ask the question to know, why always me? Why is it that I have to go through the hardest time? How come it's always hard for me to get anything done? How come many other people are getting away easy with so much? Those who don't even know God seem to be blessed, seem to have everything working for them, but you and me who believe in God, somehow we are still facing difficulties. This is a question that everyone asks. Does God show favoritism in his design? Is God giving more favor to some people and does not give any favor to people like me? I felt that way so many times in my life. As a matter of fact, my story has always been about that. I am originally from the Democratic Republic of Congo, a country that is the richest in natural resources and yet the poorest in quality of life. People that live there lived in poverty. As a matter of fact, 80% of people in the Congo do not have a job. And so I came from the poorest side of the Congo. My dad, a math professor, and my mom, a nurse, both have worked hard, but we're not getting decent pay for their job. They both worked for the buildings that belong to the government, and what it meant is that politicians would take the money up top and whatever trickles down is what my parents get. Unfortunately, sometime nothing was coming down to my parents, to a point where they went month after month without getting paid. And so we slept on the floor. We ate one good meal a day, if not no good meal a day. We lived a life of poverty that made me feel like I was nobody. It made me feel like I would not amount to anything, that it didn't matter what I do. Even if I was to go to school and graduate like my parents, I would have been in the very same situation. And so therefore, what I decided to do was to misbehave. Yes, I acted crazy. I gave my parents the hardest time ever. I would never wish a child like me on any of you, not even on my worst enemy, because that's how bad I was. I was the baby of the family and I was kicked out from one school to another. Every time I went to a school, they would ask me, are you really the same kid that come from the same family? Because we had your brothers and they were very good. I don't know what's wrong with you. I got kicked out from one school to another. My mother hated my school more than I hated my school, because she always felt ridiculed every time she went to those schools, to hear bad reports after bad reports on me. But then God was so good to me that he gave me the opportunity to come to America and to have the opportunity to actually see something different. I was excited. I knew my life would never be the same ever again. I knew I had an opportunity to actually do something with my life. But at the same time, I came to realize how blessed this country was. I came to realize how many blessings God had available for the people that lived here. And all of a sudden, it made me question everything I knew about God. Is really God just? Is really God love? These were the questions that I was asking myself. Because if God was just, how come my parents, who not only served him with everything they had, but they worked hard their entire life and they've never been blessed? How come I was not born in America so that I can receive these blessings since I was young? I felt like God was unjust to my family. So I remember calling my mom, and I called my mom to tell her, Mom, I will build you a mansion. I will give you everything you need because I know you deserve it. What I really meant with my statement was that, Mom, I will correct what God got wrong. God was supposed to bless you, but God did not do it. So therefore, I will take this responsibility to get you everything you needed. My mother laughed and she said, Son, you don't get it. We did not do this for you to take care of us. We did this to set an example for you. We did this to serve God. And if we were to die today, we would stand in front of God happy to say that, God, we've used everything you give us to serve your people. And your job, Freddie, this is my mother talking to me, is to do the very same thing. Go and find out if there is an issue in your community. Go and find out if there is a problem that you can solve. Then apply yourself to be a blessing to those that are in need. What Mom was trying to teach me is that it is God's prerogative to do what he pleases, because God is a sovereign God. He is a God who can only do good. It's hard for us to see it, but here's what the Bible says. In all things, bad as well as good, God works for the good of those that love him, that have been called according to his purpose. What that means is that God is a good God, that God does not know how to do bad. But even though you go through different things, God can use every single situation in your life to make it good. That was the statement that Mom was trying to teach me. The reason why I do these videos is to give you a context of where I was when I was writing this book. And my story in this chapter basically shows you how much I was questioning whether or not God was good and whether or not God was just. And I'm sure that you are also experiencing the very same thing. So as you are reading this chapter, I want you to reflect on your story. And I want you to reflect on how many times you thought God was not fair, how many times you thought God was not good, how many times you thought God was not just. And I just want you to share that with me as you are going through this chapter. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like this video, share it with someone who's going through some hard time, who's going through some difficulty, asking themselves, is God just? Is God good? Is God fair? Does God show favoritism? Let them know that God is on their side, that God is always good because God does not know how to be bad, and that God will make them victorious at the end because he's working out everything for their good. Please subscribe to this channel so that you will be notified as soon as we have a new video working on the next chapter. Thank you so much. God bless you. You're not